Jamuna tira vanachari Jamuna tira vanachari Jamuna tira vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So yesterday we had briefly spoken on the qualities of Ravana, which are not really, those qualities are not really very helpful. In fact, they could be detrimental for someone who is trying to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. So this quality of gratitude or gratefulness is very important. So we discussed that yesterday. So today we will begin the description of Lord Ram's activities from Valmiki Ramayana. So the king of Koshala, whose capital city was Ayodhya, a great warrior of the name Dasharath, performed a sacrifice on the advice of his ministers. This sacrifice was specially performed to have a son. Somehow, by the arrangement of providence, Maharaj Dashrath received 4 sons. The eldest was Lord Ram, the son of Sumitra Devi. Then, younger than him was Bharat, Prince Bharat, the son of Kaikeyi. And then there were twins. The eldest amongst them is Lakshman, and the youngest is Shatrughan. They are the sons of
Sumitra.
So then Ram is the son of? Why didn't anyone object when I said that? So I'll correct myself now. So Lord Ram is the son of the eldest queen, Kaushalya, Mother Kaushalya. Bharat is the son of Kaikeyi, and Sumitra Devi, she is the mother of the twins, Lakshman and Shatrughan. Well, there are various commentators on the Ramayana. Some of them have described the childhood pastimes of Lord Ram. Some have been passed down through generations as stories of Lord Ram. And as long as these stories are philosophically philosophically all right, it's good to be inspired by such stories. So once, as young boys, the princes of Ayodhya, they were in the wrestling arena. They were being trained in wrestling. Previously, princes, members of the royal family would need such extracurricular credits. Wrestling was one of them. So, Lakshmanji is very excited, and there's going to be a Jugalbandi. You know Jugalbandi? Like Krishna and Balaram, when they entered the wrestling arena of Kansa, then they were challenged at the same time. Chanur and Mushrik, two powerful wrestlers, challenged them simultaneously. Chanur fought with Krishna and Mushrik fought with Lord Balaram. Yes? So generally in a wrestling arena there are just two contestants. But in this pastime we find that there are four contestants. And it's the same wrestling arena. So similarly, in Ayodhya, the young princes, Ram and Lakshman, they were in the wrestling arena, and they were simultaneously fighting with each one fighting another contestant, so there were four contestants in the arena. And after some time, Lakshman picked up his opponent and dropped him on the ground. And he was like really very happy, I am victorious. And then he turns to Lord Ram and he says, "Oh big brother, kindly finish this match as quickly as possible. I know you are simply delaying it. So defeat this wrestler." Yes? Throw him to the ground. So Lord Ram, he turned to Lakshman and said, "Lakshman, that is not who I am. I do not throw people away. But those who have been thrown away, I lift them up." When it is spoken in Hindi, it is very nice. Because I said this is a commentary from North India. लक्ष्मण, हम किसी को गिराते नहीं, जो गिरा हुआ है उसे उठाते हैं. So Lord Ram is exhibiting his quality of being the supremely merciful. So then they enter their teens, they become adolescents. They're like 16. Vishwamitra Muni comes to Ayodhya. Have you ever experienced some kind of a different kind of feeling when certain guests come to your house? You know that experience like, oh my God. You immediately WhatsApp your wife and say, okay, this person is here, be ready. You know that kind of experience. So sometimes when Vishwamitra Muni gives you a visit, people become a little fearful. And their fear arises from the fact that Vishwamitra Muni could get angry very quickly. Sound familiar? Getting angry very quickly. So Vishwamitra Muni has a reputation like that. If his desires, if his demands are not fulfilled, then Vishwamitra Muni could become angry and curse. Dashrath Maharaj was fearful of Vishwamitra Muni's visit because he has no idea why he had come visiting. But he was fearful that if he were to put forth his demands and I would not be able to fulfill his demands, then he would curse us. Anyways, as is a custom and the tradition, as is the etiquette, he welcomes Vishwamitra Muni into his palace, gives him a seat, a high seat of honor. And then taking a humble position, he prays for his guidance. And he asks him, is there some way I can serve you? And then his heart is really pounding. What is he going to say? Vishwamitra Muni says, yes. I have come here with a special purpose in mind. At my ashram, there are great disturbances taking place. I am not able to perform my duties. I am not able to complete my sacrifice that is essential for the betterment of the world. Now, I am a sage. I am a hermit. I am practicing austerities. I have the powers to mitigate any obstacles. But if I use my powers to do that, then that will be unnecessary usage of my mystical powers. It is not necessary. However, you are the king of the planet, and it is your dharma, it is your duty to protect us. You see, sometimes when people come to ask help, it is not that they are helpless. It is because they want us to give up our laziness and work. Yes? Many times we feel, oh, just see, without me nothing will work. But we should realize that service is a privilege. It is not our right. Sometimes you think service is a right. I want to do only this service. Well, okay. No vacancy today. Come tomorrow. So when we get service, it is a privilege. We should not press demands. We should be eager for rendering service. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a very, very inspiring anecdote. When Lord Chaitanya was staying in Navadvip, Mayapur, he was a brilliant Pandit, a world-renowned scholar. And he would hold such wonderful discourses. One day, this brilliant scholar, he revealed another side to his personality. He revealed that he is the Supreme Lord. He did not do anything mystical like create ash or get a pomegranate from somewhere. Make gold appear. Nothing mystical like that. He revealed his opulence as the supremely powerful, all, Shad Aishwarya Purna, all opulent Lord. Everybody is amazed. And then he starts giving benedictions. You are benedicted this way, you are benedicted another way. And somebody said, Srivas Thakur, he actually said, my dear Lord Chaitanya, oh Nimai, oh dear Lord, Mukunda is waiting to receive your mercy. Lord Chaitanya said, never. He is a great offender. I will never give him my mercy. So Mukunda breaks down crying. Some of the devotees, they are shocked. They feel sorry for Mukunda. They come up to Lord Chaitanya and they said, my dear Lord, whatever you decide, that is supreme. You are the supremely independent personality of Godhead. We accept your decisions. Is there some way that Mukunda can be saved? Lord Chaitanya says, after millions of births, he will get my mercy. Millions of births. Just imagine if we were told that we are going back home, back to God after millions of births. We have to continue chanting Hare Krishna in every birth. Would we really be excited? The fact that it is this one lifetime keeps us excited. Let us do it for एक बार का कर देते हैं, one lifetime. So Mukunda, somebody woke him up, his cell phone started buzzing. So he got up, he came back to consciousness. And then he saw this WhatsApp message. Lord Chaitanya is saying that you will be liberated after millions of births. Mukunda starts jumping up in joy. People think he's gone crazy. Yes. They say, hey, Mukunda, don't worry. Everything will be all right. They're trying to console him. And Mukunda is saying, I'm so happy. So somebody asks him, why are you happy? Well, at least it has been assured that after millions of births, I will definitely get the mercy of the Lord. An assurance is there, right? Just like someone tells us that definitely after 6 months you'll be getting $10,000. So like we are every day counting, okay, 179 days, 178 days, because we have an assurance. Yes? But somebody says, you may get $10,000. Most probably after 6 months. There's still that fear. Will I get? Every day you're ringing up that agent and saying, are you sure? Definitely, I'll be getting it. So here Mukunda was reassured. Yes? So service is a privilege. And one should be excited about it. Yes? One should not, just as Ravana yesterday we were describing, that one forgets that it is simply by grace that we have facilities. We start thinking that the opportunities that we have is a result of our own greatness. There was a cock, not a crow. And every morning the cock would go, a cock-a-doodle-doo. I don't know, I think in the West, cocks go cock-a-doodle-doo. In India, they go kukuruku. So every morning the cock would go kukuruku. And people would wake up at dawn. They knew that a new day was awakening. And they would come and they would offer something for the cock to eat. One day people just, it was a day off, so nobody got up, nobody woke up. And nobody gave the cock its food. So the cock became very angry. And when the villagers finally woke up, he said, you villagers are all such nonsense. You never appreciate another's greatness. I am very angry with you. And the villagers say, forget it. You are angry with us. Who cares? So he really felt insulted and he said, because of your arrogance, I am leaving this village and going away. And people said, all right, you can. And the cock says, and the entire village will be plunged into darkness. The sun shall never arise on this village. The cock leaves the village, goes to another village. And come dawn, the cock goes, "Cuckoo!" And the sun rises up. And the cock feels, see, I made the sun rise up in this village. That means there is no sun in that village. So that village is in complete darkness. So the various ways we can actually be bewildered. So, one must always be alert. One must always be aware of the challenges, the obstacles that are definitely going to come to us as long as we are in this material world. So, Vishwamitra Muni, he informed King Dashrath that it is your responsibility. You should protect us. You should protect the sacrificial arena. And Dashrath Maharaj is like, okay, it's just this, all right. He said, yes. But Vishwamitra Muni said, I have come to take your son Ram for this task. I have come to bring him to my ashram. And Dashrath Maharaj his heart is broken. Because if he doesn't fulfill Vishwamitra Muni's demands, then he could be cursed. And if he does, then he would be separated from Lord Ram. Finally, he has to agree to Vishwamitra Muni's desire. Vishwamitra Muni leaves with Lord Ram, a 16-year-old boy, the prince of Ayodhya. Lakshmanji, he also accompanies Lord Ram. So these two young boys, they are accompanying Vishwamitra Muni. After the days, at the end of the day, they take rest on the banks of a river. The next day, early on, Uttishta, Uttishta, wake up, wake up. Oh, the glorious son of Kaushalya, please wake up. The two princes wake up. Vishwamitra Muni asks them to take bath in the river, and then he gives them two powerful mantras, Bala Ati Bala, receiving which their memory would always be sharp, they would never feel hunger or thirst, and they would be victorious in battle. They would have the knowledge of all, knowledge of the usage of all weapons. As they advance further, suddenly there are disturbances in the sky. What is this? Oh, this is the demoness Tataka. So she appears on the scene. And the young boys, they're trying to stop her, but she is unstoppable. So Vishwamitra Muni says, stop playing games and just kill her. But Lord Ram is a little hesitant. Because he does not want to hurt a woman. At that point of time, Vishwamitra Muni educates him. He says, this is not the first time that a situation like this has arisen for a Kshatriya. In the days of the past, even King Indra, he was in a situation like this and he performed his duty. Duty is supermost. Because you have been sent by your father. Dashrath Maharaj ordered them that they should accept Vishwamitra Muni as his own self and serve him accordingly. So you have been sent by your father to follow my orders, hence you must. As soon as Lord Ram received this instruction, he put an arrow to his bow and sent it hurtling through the sky. It pierced Tataka's chest and she fell down to the ground dead. So this is very important. What is the importance of this story? There are various lessons to be learned. But most importantly, it explains the relationship between the teacher and the student. A student may be very intelligent. A student may have knowledge. A student may also understand how to use that knowledge. Ultimately, the student has to follow the instructions of the teacher. One may be very knowledgeable and one may be very expert in the utility of knowledge. One may also be successful by using that knowledge. But unless and until one is following the instructions of the teacher, a bona fide teacher, all one's success simply increases one's false ego, makes us more proud and even envious. Sometimes this pride and the envy may be directed, the pride may make us feel that we are powerful, and the envy may be directed against the teacher too. There was a student, a boy, who was very successful, who became very successful as a fighter. He knew the art of fighting with weapons. So he went all over the world. After graduating from his teacher's school, he went all over the world and he conquered all directions. Finally, when he was about to declare that he is the best of all the fighters, he is the best fighter in the world, the Vijaya, he was asked a question: have you ever defeated your own teacher in a fight? And he said, no. Then how can you claim to be Digvijay? See? A very logical question, isn't it? But logic is not always perfect. Yes? Let me give you an example. We have been taught that we must chant Hare Krishna, because if we chant Hare Krishna, then we attract Krishna's mercy. And then we are told that to chant Hare Krishna, we need Krishna's mercy. So which comes first? To attract Krishna's mercy, we have to chant Hare Krishna. And to chant Hare Krishna, we need Krishna's mercy. Well, we can spend the entire lifetime debating. Yes, let me give you another example. There is a barber in a village. Know this example? Stanley's parable. He is asked, are the barbers in this village truthful? He says, no. They all speak lies. Now, if you believe him, then every single barber in the village speaks a lie. He is a barber too. So he is speaking a lie. So if he is speaking a lie, that means all the barbers are not lying, they are truthful now. Now, if all the barbers are truthful, therefore he is truthful. Therefore what he is speaking is the truth. Which means all the barbers are speaking a lie. Interesting logic, isn't it? Yes? Therefore, tarko pratishto shrutaya vibhinna nasa vrishir yasya matirna bhinnam. Debate naturally attracts many contestants. And everyone has the facility to actually exist as having the perfect logic. Every person in a debate can exist as the best, as the topmost debater. Then what does one do? What is the solution? Dharmasya tattvam nihito guhayam. If one has to find a solution, then logic will not always be helpful. Somewhere or the other, at some point of time, logic has to either conclude or logic has to be given up for. So it has to either conclude in acceptance of the instructions of a bona fide teacher, or it has to end and after that one has to accept the instructions of a bona fide teacher. Mahajano yena gatah sapantha, following the footsteps of the great Mahajanas. So this is very important. Lord Ram knew that it is not the right etiquette to hurt a woman. Please, I would like to repeat this. Lord Ram knew that it is not the proper etiquette to hurt a woman. Everyone is clear on this? Yes? And at the same time, Mother Sita, Hare Krishna, she knew that it is not the etiquette to live without serving her husband. Should I repeat that too? And Lord Ram said, "Oh, so Sita, you are not used to the ways of the forest. I have lived in the forest. You always lived in the palace." Now just imagine. This is the Sita that lifted the bow of Lord Shiva as a young child. And Lord Ram is saying, "Oh Sita." Which is true, she never left her father's palace. She had all the comforts in the world. So the banishment is for me. I will leave for the forest and you should stay behind. And I know that you are going to object. Therefore, I'll give you a valid reason for staying back. And the valid reason is, without me, Mother Kaushalya will be all alone. You stay back and on my behalf, take care of her. Perfect. A completely dharmic principle. So Mother Sita said, "Please, I have also learnt very good dharma principles from my father." Dashrath Maharaj is the husband of Kaushalya Devi. I am your wife. My father, he instructed me when I was taking leave of my father's palace to come to my husband's home, your palace, your city. He instructed me that the place of the wife is always next to the husband. Therefore, you always stay with your husband. So Lord Ram is quoting dharma principle. Mother Sita is quoting her teacher, who is giving the dharma principle. So in this situation, Mother Sita has the upper hand. Because Lord Ram is simply giving proof from scripture, but then to back it up, it is his words. Mother Sita is giving proof from the scriptures, and to back it up, she is giving the words of Maharaj Janak, who's Guru. So Guru's words, given when they are congruent to what the scriptures say, they carry more weightage. So Lord Ram, he knew that he should not harm. But then when Vishwamitra Muni instructed him, he did not question Vishwamitra Muni. Guruji, can you actually really give me something in writing that I will be left off the hook? No, just so that in the future, if you forget it, I can show it to you. Or maybe I can show it to all the controllers of the universe. See, it is Vishwamitra, he is responsible. I told him I am not going to shoot. He told me to shoot. Can you give me something? He did not do any of that. He did not ask for anything in writing. He did not even hesitate a moment. The Valmiki Ramayana describes that he's simply telling Lakshman, just look at this opponent. Her size is so huge, her hair is like this, her chest is like that, her hands are huge, her eyes, red eyes. He's describing her. And look at my arrow that will travel through space and bring her down. And Lakshmanji is like, all right, I'm ready, action. Never for a moment hesitated or doubted the instruction of Vishwamitra Muni. Does that mean that we blindly follow? No. It simply means that when one is so educated that one does not hesitate in following instructions. You see, when you are well versed with how the mechanism works, you do not hesitate. So this is not blind following. It simply shows that Lord Ram is so well educated that he knows what Vishwamitra Muni is saying is correct and I have to follow his orders, his instructions. Sometimes you may think that, should we just accept the words of the Guru or our teacher just like that? Yes. So this young man was challenged. Have you defeated your Guru? He said, no. Then how can you claim to be Digvijay? So he goes back to his teacher and he says, I challenge you to a fight. Now the teacher knew that. The teacher had educated him with everything that he had, with all the knowledge that he had. Therefore he knew that because of his youth and his expertise, his reflexes are very quick, he'll defeat me. The teacher wasn't concerned about that. But he was concerned about one thing, one aspect. So he asked his student, would you come tomorrow? Let us have the match tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And we can choose the weapon of our choice. So he comes with all his weapons, sword, this, that, spear, lance, mace. And his teacher, he comes walking to the fighting arena with a shawl thrown over the upper part of his body. So no one has any idea what is under the shawl. So now the student becomes really concerned because he knows his teacher is very good. And he has this understanding, if there is a particular weapon that I have never ever been taught to use, all of my other weapons are going to fail in front of him. He knew that. He knew his teacher. So even before the fight, he said, all right, I surrender, I have lost. So all the tabloids are immediately repeating, Digvijay is no longer Digvijay. Yes, he has accepted defeat. Then he started accusing his teacher, but how is it that you did not teach me everything? And the teacher said, I taught you everything. I taught you everything in the art of fighting. Then what do you have under your shawl? So the teacher takes off his shawl, and under his shawl he has, you know what? What is Surakai? What is Surakai? Loki? So there's Loki. Yeah? Bottle god. What? He said, yes. Why don't you teach me the use of this? He said, there's only one use of this. Cut it, chop it, cook it, eat it. Obviously, you first offer it. Oh. He said, yes, I taught you everything, but somehow I missed. This is what I did not teach you. I did not teach you that humility is important. Just as this simple vegetable, because you did not know its presence, it could defeat you. Similarly, humility is that hidden quality. If one has it, then one can be fearless. And one can be totally dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. One can feel sheltered. So then the student understood and he learned his lesson. So, there are 4 important qualities that are essential for a student to possess. The first quality is vivek or discrimination. The second quality is vairagya or detachment. The third quality is aishwarya. The 6 kinds of wealth. And the fourth quality is shravanam, attentive hearing. If we have these 4 qualities, then a student is well equipped to understand and to practice the instructions of his or her teacher. Vivek does not simply mean discrimination. Shri Shri Radha Neela Madhav Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitaya ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Devi ki jai, Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki jai. Vivek means the spirit of discrimination. When we say discrimination, it seems passive. So Vivek and Vairagya mean the spirit of discrimination and the spirit of detachment. And Shravanam simply does not mean hearing, but Shravanam means the ability to hear the teachings such that one is attentive. One is paying attention to such teachings. And then there are the 6 kinds of Aishwarya or wealth, 6 types. They are Sama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhan. Sama means letting go of desire. Dhamma means restrain one's senses. Uparati means becoming aware of the sense objects and staying away from them. Uparati. Titiksha, patience and acceptance of whatever situations comes in one's life as God's grace. Shraddha, not just intellectual faith, but tangible faith. experiential faith. And finally, samadhan, which means concentration on the truth. It means satisfaction, but in this case it means to be focused on the truth. With these four qualities, a disciple becomes well equipped to accept, assimilate the instructions of the bona fide teacher and bring about a transformation in one's life. So Lord Ram was a very good student. Vishwamitra Muni taught him well, and Lord Ram further on goes to Siddhashram, and on the instructions of Vishwamitra Muni, he protects the sacrificial fire. The yajna is successful at the end of 7 days and 7 nights. Thousands of demoniac forces have been killed, and from there on, Lord Ram is taken by Vishwamitra Muni across the northern plains of India to the land of Mithila, where a very interesting episode of Lord Ram's life would unfold. See, when Lord Ram left his house, he was going in search of a job. I mean, he had been offered a job. So he leaves. And at the end of that, he is successful, or he has fulfilled the requirements of Janaka's proposal, King Janaka's proposal, and he has received Sita as his wife. I don't know how many of us ever have that fortune, that you go looking for a job and come back with a wife also. So it's interesting, the Ramayana. So anyways, we'll repeat again. Vivek, Vairagya, 6 kinds of wealth, and Shravanam. These are the 4 qualities. We'll stop here. Any questions, any comments? We'll continue on this topic tomorrow night. So any questions, any comments? Yes, bro. Humility and fear? Yes. What is the relationship between humility and fear? Did I say that they had a relationship? How did I explain it?
Fear goes away.
Fear goes away, okay. Yeah, I got confused. Humility and fear are the brother and sister. Okay, let me give you an example. First, let me explain what is humility. You see, when we are aware of the greatness of someone, and in the presence of that greatness we feel sheltered, there's natural humility. Because in the presence of that greatness we do not feel sheltered, then there will be fear. Yes? Because this great power could crush us at any time. The natural propensity of the soul is humility, because the soul is always in the presence of Krishna's greatness. That is a natural propensity. When Arjuna saw Krishna's greatness as a Virat Roop, he became a little fearful. Why was that? Arjuna himself explains. He says, oh, I was calling you Yadava, I was calling you a friend, and therefore I did not, I just took you to be an ordinary person, my friend, a member of the Yadava dynasty. Now I know who you are. Please remove this vision and come back to the original form. I will never again call you Yadava Sakha. But I want to see that form. Yes? So, when the shelter is not felt, because what did he see when he saw the Virat Roop? Everyone is being crushed. He saw time. He saw destruction. So where was the shelter? That he could not see. Later on, Krishna told him that, except you 5 Pandavas, I am going to destroy every single warrior on this battlefield. Well, Krishna did not actually reveal that 4 others would also be left alive. But on the Pandava side, he said just the Pandavas. As soon as that relationship was established, when Krishna took his Saumya form, the understanding of Krishna as the powerful Virat Rupa universal form was still there in Arjuna's mind, but with the Saumya form, because there was the shelter felt, immediately he became humble. He accepted Krishna as a supreme shelter. Therefore, the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita hence speaks only of pure devotional service. So, that relationship with someone who's powerful, who's great, automatically one feels a shelter, one is humble, and in that state, one is fearless. So there was a plane in flight and lot of turbulence. And because of that turbulence, the plane was really being thrown up and down for quite some time. And everyone was scared. There was shrieking, there was panic. People, they were really praying or they were crying. So one man who was completely pale because of fear, he looked at his co-passenger who was a 6-year-old girl. And she was peacefully reading a book. So he looked at her and he was like, she's so peaceful. Then looked around and he could see everyone else, including himself, very scared, fearful. And suddenly, there was the oxygen masks falling down. And then everyone became all the more scared. And the girl just went on peacefully reading. Somehow or the other, the plane came out of that turbulence and reached its destination. And then everyone started clapping. And the girl still was reading her book. So now that everything was safe and sound, he turned to the girl and said, "Is that the Bible that you're reading? Is that the Bhagavad Gita that you're reading? Are you very religious?" She says, "No, I'm reading Harry Potter." "Didn't you feel the turbulence?" She said, "I felt it." "Didn't you hear people shouting, screaming, shrieking?" She said, "I did hear all of that." "Are you, a great saintly person? Like, do you have some mystical power?" She says, "No, I'm just a young girl." "Then how is it that you are so peaceful?" She said, "Well, you see, My father is a pilot. And I have complete faith that he loves me. And therefore he'll be more concerned about my well-being than I. So with him there, I knew everything is under control, or he'll try to bring everything under control. And hence I went on peacefully reading my book. I couldn't do anything else, right? So similarly, when we understand that Krishna is in control of our life through all the turbulences, everyone is going, oh, Prabhu, Mataji, just that. And we go on reading Bhagavad Gita, not Harry Potter. And then people think, oh, do you have mystical power? No, we don't have mystical power. Then, oh, Krishna is at the helm. Or Prabhupada is at the helm. He's the pilot. He knows the best how to take care of me. So with him there, what do I have to fear? Right? Therefore I go on peacefully, taking shelter of the instructions. Is that all right? Any other question or comments?
Yesterday's class, talked about Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. How do you define Shiksha Guru and how to approach one? What's the etiquette to approach Shiksha Guru?
So the question is, how do we approach a Siksha Guru? What is the etiquette to approach a Siksha Guru? The easiest way for us, who are the members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, the easiest way to approach a Siksha Guru is by taking shelter of the instructions given in Srila Prabhupada's books. Because he is our Shiksha Guru and the prominent Siksha Guru. Yes? And what is etiquette? Pick up the book and start reading it. Or come together and discuss what is there in Srila Prabhupada's books. At the same time, there will be various other devotees, some of them much more advanced than us, who can time and again give us various instructions. The etiquette is that we seek someone's permission before approaching Siksha Guru for specific instructions. That is the etiquette. Because when we do approach them, they are going to ask us for a letter of recommendation. And if we do not have the letter of recommendation, then generally a bona fide Siksha Guru guides us in the basic instructions, and for any in-depth understanding would request us to bring a letter of recommendation. Is that all right? Siksha is available for everyone, and certain matters there is an etiquette that needs to be followed. Okay? There are instructions that even after marriage, if one has to accept guidance from our previous family members, even then one must first seek permission of the present members in the marriage. When Sati wanted to go to her father's house, Lord Shiva, he advised her, it's not beneficial for you. But she thought, oh, it is my father's house. What danger is there for me? Everything will be perfect. I am his most beloved daughter. But things didn't go that way. Therefore, In that context, the instruction has been given that without the proper letter of recommendation, even if one has had a relationship before, it could lead us to situations that are unimaginable, that we can never ever think of. All right? At the same time, in an institution, it has been established that Srila Prabhupada is the most prominent Shiksha Guru. So approaching him is everyone's right. Approaching the instruction of Srila Prabhupada is everyone's right. Any other questions or comments on this?
Sometimes we get random services which we have to do it, and we feel very burdened when we do that service. So how do we change our consciousness while we are doing that service?
This is a different situation. Here we are not demanding service, right? We are trying to run away. So when I think I made that statement, it was in the context of where we say, this is my service, why do you take it from me? So then we should realize that service is a privilege. It is not our right. Yes? But in the case where it becomes a little burdensome, then, if a girl gets married, she comes to her husband's home, and the entire day she is busy carrying out the work of her neighbors, and she doesn't have time to work for her husband, then there is a problem there. So obviously, one will feel overburdened. Oh, there's so much everyone is giving me, and also our husbands. So the priority is at first, the house that we get married to, we first do that. And then whatever else comes in, we ask them to line up. And as and when we have time, we call them to the counter. Please, next. Okay? So when random services are given to us, then we can very politely ask them to channelize it to the proper channel. But sometimes, this is official, but sometimes it's okay to extend ourselves if that is the need. Sometimes it's okay to extend ourselves. Let's say we have the service of doing Pujari service, and somebody else has a service of cleaning the temple. So the temple it looks a little unclean, so the Pujari comes out and stands right next to it and says, that's not my service. So in that case, we should not wait. Yes, because cleanliness is one of the essential principles of serving the deities. So even if it is not a direct service, because cleanliness is an important principle, then we may go ahead and perform that service. All right? So I think I properly balanced it out, didn't I? Priority, discussion, explaining a situation is helpful, hopefully. If not, then please pray to Krishna very sincerely to show everyone the proper path. All right? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.